So, welcome to DevSecOps Talks with Paulina.
Andrei. We did it.
And today we'll be talking about incident response as follow-up from the previous podcast episode where we're talking what should you do before the incident and how you can get ready for it and precaution. And now today we're gonna talk how you should behave and what you should do during the incident.
No, Paulina. We're going to be talking about your outfit.
Yeah, let's start.
No incident before we discuss your outfit because it's kind of unusual for a podcast. So, like people who are listening know that we now have a YouTube channel, and we will be linking to it in the show notes, so you can find it and you can see for yourself. But for those of you who are too busy for that, I'm gonna describe it for you. So Paulina is wearing I think it's specialized bicycle helmet with those, big eyes wind sunglasses that people usually use when they either bike or do triathlon. And it also looks like she's wearing the biking jersey. So we never seen Julian coming in anything like that, let's say. So Paulina, tell us all about it.
Yes, I'm on a training camp in Spain, trying to prepare for triathlon season upcoming, and I'm in the middle of the ride, as that was the only way to fit it in both ways.
So good to be Paulina, living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream, out biking, jumping for a podcast YouTube video. That's nice.
Oh, really nice. Okay,
yeah, but
to the topic.
To the topic, incident. So last time we talked a little bit like how you can prepare a company. Like now it's the fun part. But do you say it's fun part? Sometimes I say it's kind of fun to be in the incident because then it's like in the incident it's really like your skill get to the points, right? You need to solve a big problem, and I like solving problems. So sometimes I think that being an incident is kind of it's fun. It's fun work, right? Not for everybody, right?
But intense. Intense. It is intense.
It is intense, right? Yeah. So there are some of the things like we need to prepare a little bit, but then we go into like what you should do when the incident hits, and maybe the three of us has been an incident and can share some like ideas of what you can do to manage this better, right? The first part, let's start about like you need to have like a plan, like the incident response plan, right? What you should do when an incident happens. Every standard in the world, like that you can name all the letters, they all have like an incident response plan in it, and it all comes back to four things, right? Prep it, protect it, fix it, repair it. Like they all go into that one, right? And we'll be taking them more or less, but that's what they are. And the most important part of that plan is like learning what you did in the end from the plan and add it to the beginning. Like so you make your company and response better and better and better and better. Like that's the whole idea of the plan, right? Okay.
But yes, you don't wait for incident to start improving the procedures, right?
No.
You would have the incident response plan anyway, and you might be also doing drills, right? Which kind of goes back to our previous episode where we discussed incident preparation.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, like disaster recovery, or have better cases you can think of.
Yeah. No, disaster recovery is one. Things like sometimes you do like walk down on the incidents. You talk about what happens if the database stops responding, and you can sit in a group and like say IDs. Well, for example, like this laptop here, what happens if I started using your laptop? Like, what can I do, right? So you start thinking of those ideas. What can happen if someone else get access or something is dropped? Like, if you bring that up to the table, you can talk it over, and then you can train your incident response as well. And the learning is pushed back to like improvement things. That's a good way to get started. So you have been incident, right? Has someone cried in any incident that you've been in? Or someone get mad at any incident you've been in?
First, no. Second,
No.
yes.
Yes. So when the incident happens, a lot of people get like, it's a lot of feelings sometimes that happens. But the best like advice for everybody when something happens is like, stop whatever you do, start thinking, and then reacting. We call it like stop, think, react. That's the first step when something happens. Like just stop with everything you're doing, and then you think, and then you take action. This is like the first step.
When are you ready to take action?
No, but that depends. Like you have to think like, okay, we get a high alerts of logs coming in from this one. There's like, if you pause for like a second, okay, what does this mean, right? What's happening? It could be like 5 minutes, and then you know what you should do, right? Just build up some sort of plan, like some understanding what you should do, instead of just jumping in the first thing. Sometimes it can be like you're getting a high load on the database, but you know, it's when you think about it, it's like, yeah, but this should also be something with the web, so you can divide your like interest a little bit, maybe from the service that is not screaming, but to another service that actually causing the problem, right? Those are the things that you can find when you like stop a little bit and then think like, what's going on here, what can it be, and then start reacting, instead of just running on the first kind of thing that you see.
I guess the key there is to think in terms of the business impact.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
You're assessing the business impact and understand, like, if you have a high database load, you got alert, but business is checking a log.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all right. I mean, you have something to work on, but it's not really an issue that requires the all hands on deck.
No, that's also something like some high load can be fine. I mean, if it's not causing any issues, then maybe you improve increase the database, whatever you should do to resolve the issue, right?
Yeah.
So if it's impacting your users or your business, then the incident is real, right?
I mean, that's in case if you know what's going on, because sometimes you'll see that, okay, something doesn't work, but you need to find the cause, what is causing it. So you need to do brainstorming, debugging, and so on.
Yes. And to do that, like when you start now, okay, we stop, think, we're gonna start implementing the things like, we need some place that we can like work together. And I think it's like, if you're in the office, you will have some kind of room, the war room or whatever you call it, like this is where you go, and that room should be a little bit prepped maybe with things. If you're doing maybe a bigger company, make sure that you have tools so you can work with database or whatever you like, maybe larger disk and those sort of things. Coffee would be nice maybe if you're in a bigger room. If you're doing remote, a Slack channel, something where you're like, okay, it's incident, open a huddle in this channel or some place like this is where it's one person sitting there listening, like this is where we go where the incident start, and now you can start troubleshooting. And usually it's like, yeah, Andre.
One thing here also is, like, you did the assessment, so you have a cause that might be unclear. Something is causing the problem, but downstream effects, that's what you are assessing, right? You are assessing if the downstream effects are hurting the business. You established that, yes, there is issue with the business. There might be security incident, that might be the general operations incident, and then think, where is our incident response plan?
Yeah.
So you need to know that. So like, where is that? And quite often there you will have like step-by-step instruction, or like you want to have that step-by-step instruction and plan. So whatever happens, the person who discovered an issue could and understood that there is a need. When you have an incident, you have a need for business to get involved.
Yeah.
And there you will have a communication channel to the business to communicate the impact of the incident that you observe at the moment. And then the ways how you can kick off the all hands on effort. As Mattias said, what the good thing might be is to either have established channel, but there things could be messy. So another thing you could do is you could create a separate channel per incident. Thus you will have all history in one place. Then have maybe a video conferencing like three of us having right now, and then record it, because that would be very useful later for the post-mortem learning part. So just keep record and record your screen, what you're doing, and record all the communication. That brings us to another advice. You want to minimize the amount of chaos, and what might happen here is multiple people start to do things in parallel, and then you don't really know what's going on, because was it your changes that affected that caused the effects that you see, or was it another person? So what you want to say, everyone hands off the keyboard, bring me your ideas, we discuss, and then one person who is recording the screen is doing the stuff what he is doing. This is will be the best possible way, in my opinion, to record the history of what's going on, record all the evidence you need, so you can post-mortem better afterwards.
I have one comment to add from my own experience also. If you do regular checkup during the incident, also make a short summary of what was said and what was agreed during the checkup. Because then everyone can follow up on the next one, and everyone knows what they should do. Because multiple times I experienced miscommunication during the incident, because everyone is rushed, everyone is stressed, and it's very easy to mislead or miscommunicate. So it's very good to have the short summary in few points and recap in the end of the check-in what's next steps and who's responsible for what.
Yeah, I think exactly that. Like sometimes when I come in an incident and there's someone trying to solve the incident, right? It's no point for me trying to help. It's better for me to sit beside and start, as you said, like logging things. Like how is the graph of the database now? I used to take a screenshot, add it to Slack, right? This is how it looks now. And then trying to help that person that is solving the issue. Because it's going to be one person, or maybe more, but one person that's going to resolve the issue. The others, me and others that sit around, we used here to help him, right? Google for things, writing logs so they can keep track what happens. We can go back in history and see, and we're just supporting that person trying to resolve the issue.
So that's what could be also in your incident response plan, is the roles that you expect to have during the incident. So you will have responders, like the technical people who are analyzing the logs, who are doing the changes. But then in terms, what could you do to help them? One of them is to shield them from the management. So you would have a person in that team who is responsible for communication. So the management doesn't go directly to responders and ask them. And you would have a person in the team responsible for orchestration of all of that. So that person would collect the status from the responders, listening what they're discussing, compile the status in the business terms, focus on impact, and communicate that in the even intervals. And it's also important that they communicate when the next status update will come. So for instance, you communicate every hour. You say at this moment, even if you have no changes, you just say we have no changes, we see the situation is the same. The next report will be at this time. And then the people who need to get this data, they can just look at the channel or whatever communication media you have and don't ask any questions. Say okay, I got what I got. I know when it's going to come. And then also what you should really communicate and drill down with responders is that you don't do social media. No.
Yeah.
Remember that guy who dropped GitLab database and was posting that on Twitter? No. CrowdStrike, pushing to production, and guy tweeting about them? No, you don't do that. Let business people communicate impact outside of the company. You will get in the hot water if you try to do that.
Yeah. And this is the thing, when I had the course for people, this is a great job for someone that is new, be the communicator, right? You sit in the incident and you learn, right? And then you communicate to others. It's not only to the business, but it might be to other external parties as well if you need to. But communication is the key.
Yes, but also one thing, be sure that you delegate at least one person who understands the incident to the management person. So management person understand technical impact of it, and whatever needs to be communicated to the customers or to the public depends what kind of incident, depends what your company is doing. But sometimes not everyone understands what needs to be communicated outside. So
yeah, really good, right? Are there some like words that you are not? You say like social media is bad, and I agree with that. Are there some other words that you like should keep away from telling people that might have a bad impact?
There are certain words that would have a very, very specific legal meaning, like breach, for
Exactly.
instance. There
Breach
are
is a bad word.
in interpretations of that, and you should leave it to the legal people to describe. And your incident response plan might have or might not have explanation of what it is, and like, is it a breach or not? Is it a operational procedure? Blah blah blah. But you should not use that word.
Yeah. Exactly. I think this is all great advice. And I just want to come back once more, like it's the people that gonna solve the problem. So when you are in incident and someone is trying to resolve it, help those people as good as you can, right? And make sure that they have whatever they need, right? I think that's the key, right? And support them so the incident can be resolved as quickly as possible. When should you do like the incident report, do you think? After
That would
incident,
be even the report is like the post-mortem, or like
the
when you report to the
post-mortem,
management.
yeah,
Let people rest.
I agree with that.
But don't
let
wait 2
people who
months.
are also, if you have your engineers working on the incident, don't bug them every 3 to 5 minutes. Is it done? Is it done? Is it done? That doesn't help. That
Yeah,
doesn't move
Yeah.
step forward.
no.
Yeah, that
I
should
also
be the job of communication manager who's on the team to communicate outside.
I was actually in like a meeting. I mean, the incident was kind of over, the site was up, but not everything was like functional, right? It was like, one of those incidents when they start working, the client can do, but you still have a lot of things done. And then you have like meetings the day after, like, oh, how can we communicate? 2 hours, like, but we're kind of meeting in the storm. We're still in the storm, right? We're not done, right? So, I mean, let the incident be done and then like rest, right? If it's long incident, it's going to be hard. And then you can sit back and start doing the incident report. And if you have that all written down, as you said already, like in Slack, you have things, you maybe have a video, you have the huddle, you have the information. It should be kind of simple to show what you have done and like how the resolution was.
One extra thing that the person who is not directly involved in the resolution of the incident, that the person can communicate outside, but also that person can do a little bit of endurance planning, if you like. So you have outgoing technical or security issue. People are investigating, but you should think about it being protracted, which means that you might resolve it in 1 hour or 2. But if there is no end in sight, then that person starts to need to think, okay, I need to organize coffee for the team, food to come in on a certain intervals. I mean, those people who work on the incident, they're going to stay fresh for 4 hours or more. They will need to leave because they have their own commitments. You need to start working now, thinking who is coming next to relieve those people so they can leave and do whatever they need to do to rest, to stay fresh, and don't sacrifice their commitments because, we have keys, for instance, that we need to pick up from the daycare. There is no way around it. And so be kind on your people and plan in advance. Usually in a crisis mode, you don't think about those things. So that's why you really want to have it in your incident response plan. So you have a person appointment thinking about it, like say, like if it's 2 hours and there is no end in sight, the reason is still unclear.
Exactly.
We start to have plan for endurance. We have to plan for protracted incident. Maybe someone coming during the evening. We need to have a dinner. Someone comes during the night. We need to have a taxis. We need to have shifts and so on. Like you need to think through all of that.
Yeah, all of those. And I mean, it's good to have those role, like someone, as I said, like when they have the incident, you like focus on the people like solving. And now we say like add someone that do communication, but also that role like to like overview, like to making sure that everything around the incident is being smoother, like food, coffee, whatever you like, it's simple things. But as I said, also like taxi, I mean, I've been to incident that ended like 3 o'clock at night, and then you couldn't get home, right? And yeah, it's all the other things, right, that you can help. You need to support the people that are solving the incident.
Sometimes you also need people from other teams, so you need someone who will, communicate them and or try to, locate them or try to contact them and bring them online, for example. Because I don't know, you need someone from the data team or particular development team.
Yes. And then after you like make the report, now we said like we're gonna have all the info from Slack and things like. So the first report might be long, right, with all that information, right? That would be like the technical report, and then from that you can make one that is more like, okay, this is the one for the business, whatever you call it, right? It doesn't have to be all
yes, but that's a third part of this series, no? It's like post-incident stuff. Shouldn't we save it?
We can save it if you like. Yeah,
no, like if we wanted to do the 3 parts, so if everything post-incident, let's save it for the post-incident.
Okay, we save it to the post-incident part. That would be fun.
We keep this one nice, short and sweet.
Yeah. So one thing that you also can do is like sometimes when you do incident, as you said, only it's like one person that just like try to fix. And sometimes there's a lot of people sitting around. You always been incident. One is working, 3 people are standing around just giving advice. Here comes also those like run books and things that you learned before, like giving tasks to people around.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay, I have this IP here. Here's a run book. Check this IP, like, and then they can check that and add that information into Slack as well. And now you can have more people joining in the incident as well. That's also a great tool, right, to have.
Yeah, having your run books handy, that's a good point. Writing your run books, having your diagrams handy.
That's a great tool.
Having AI doing the RAG on your Slack and your previous postmortems, giving the suggestions would be also good to have.
Yes.
But have an internal AI. Don't publish it to everyone. What incidents do you have in your own company?
Maybe. Yeah, RAG usually comes with like his internal data knowledge. Data, whatever, like knowledge base, internal knowledge base, right? So this is where I usually use RAG. Also parallel, you can someone runs run book, someone asks ChatGPT, and then someone's just typing in. And I would actually suggest that you follow the mob programming rules here. You know how mob programming works. You have one person whose job is basically only type. He's not thinking. The rest of the group is thinking and telling what to type to that person. And then you rotate. It might be not efficient to rotate during the incident because you will be switching between the machines. You will need to set up everything. It is efficient during the mob programming because you get everyone aligning and working in the same way. But it takes time. And the people might be the proficiency with keyboard and the local workspace layout efficiency might differ. So you really want to have someone who is good at that. I mean, when it comes to typing and who knows his workspace really well, who can navigate between servers very quickly. But the rest would need to think and pull the knowledge together and give ideas what to check. So that person could check that quickly and give the results back to the team.
Yes. But do you think we should end this podcast with like the incident, and then we do another one with the ending? And then
I thought that was the plan.
Yeah, it is the plan. It's a great plan. I had the same thing when I did the report thing. The things that I would like give to people that are incident, like it's someone getting hurt of this incident. Like, how big is this incident really? Like, that's like the first step, right? If Otherwise, you can really stop, think, and react slowly, and then start moving. Don't rush into incident. Make a good plan and take it easy.
One thing that I want to introduce that we haven't been doing, but I think we should be doing, is I'm gonna take a screenshot of the board
Yes.
with all those key points that we use for the podcast. And then I will post it to LinkedIn when I publish the podcast. Hopefully I don't forget. If I do, ping me somewhere on LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever media, whatever access you have to me. Remind me about that. And we could even, like Mattias maybe can even share his screen. Maybe I can share it here. So people watching live would also see it.
Yeah. Can you share it?
Can you share? I have like a lot of stuff on my board. Space here.
Yeah, I can share. Here it is. Here.
Yeah, so for the people only listening, that you will probably find on LinkedIn. We also have like our LinkedIn channel now.
Yeah.
And all the topics now shared on the screen. So if you're watching live, you see them. If not, the picture will be on LinkedIn. And also you can find the YouTube channel, scroll to the end and see it there. Hopefully that helps.
That's a good plan. We're getting better and better at this, like video and podcast. It's like an
It's
incident
all
every
thanks to
time.
Paulina. She keeps us
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah, she does. A little bit scary also with that helmet sometimes. You feel like a fighter pilot, I think. Okay, but with that, we will end this video podcast. Thanks for showing up.
Follow for part 3 for postmortem and what
Oh,
should
yeah.
you do after the incident.
The most important
In
part,
2
I would
weeks.
say. 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
You have been listened to DevSecOps Talks with Mattias, Andre, and Paulina. For notes and information, please visit devsecops.fm. Thanks for tuning in.